Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. I am Priyanshi welcoming you all again on behalf of Solar Quarter and Forestry Group to the second day of Malaysia Solar Week 2022. Hope you had a good time in networking with your peers today. Now it's time to start with the second day of the conference, but before that I take the opportunity to thank our sponsor, Platinum partner Goodby, for extending their immense support to organize this event. I would request my team to please play the sponsor video of Goodby. Thank you so much, team, for playing the sponsor video. Now, let me quickly take you through the agenda for today. We'll be having a presentation and a panel discussion, which will be focused on rooftop solar sector. And after this, we'll be having our much awaited awards function. Without any delay, let's begin with our first session. And I would like to invite Mr. Siu Chun from Goodby for a techno commercial presentation. Welcome on the screen, sir.
Thank you, Priyanshi. Let me share my screen.
Sure.
So I hope everyone can see my screen now.
Yes, sir. Please continue with your presentation.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you for taking your time out to join our webinar today. Again, I would like to thank First Media Solar Quarter for inviting us to share our solutions here. Yeah. So I'm Eng Siu Chun. I'm the country sales manager of Malaysia. I think most of the audience, hopefully, we have met each other before. And if you don't know me, you can just call me Siu Chun. So I will start off with a very brief company profile, and then I will go into our utility solution, and at the end, yeah, we will try to discuss in the panel. So the vision of GoodWe is driving the world's smart energy future. We are determined to be the main driving force in the global energy transition. So all our product portfolio has been working on this mission. Up to today, we have installed more than 3 million units globally, and annually we generate more than 56,000 of gigawatt hour and save more than 5,500 million tons of carbon dioxide. This is the headquarters in Suzhou. This is our GoodWe headquarters in Suzhou. GoodWe is a solar inverter manufacturer based in Suzhou, China. We are a Chinese manufacturer. We have a total numbers of 3,000 employees in our GoodWe company, and more than 20% is the R&D staff. So from here, you can see that GoodWe is indeed a company that invests a lot on technology, innovation, and advancement. And besides that, we are also believe strongly in local sales and local sales support and after sales service. So we have more than 100 plus of overseas employee like me in all the locals, and yeah, to serve our clients better. So looking at our global sales revenue, despite the pandemic, we have actually managed to achieve or double our sales revenue from year to year. So in 2020, we was making around 240 million USD, and 2021 we managed to make 420 million USD. So we actually double from year to year, despite the challenging situation currently, pandemic situation. So this is some of the milestone that GoodWe have achieved. It is founded in 2010, and in 2014 we already launched our first storage inverter. Yeah. So actually, we are one of the pioneers in the storage inverter series. So besides grid connected inverter, GoodWe have a very complete portfolio also in hybrid storage solutions. And also in 2020, we successfully public listed on Shanghai Stock Exchange, and also we managed to become the licensing partner of GE. So this is a very important year for us and a very important milestone for us. So GoodWe is actually now a public listed company. You can always check our stock prices on with this stock code 688390. These are some of our presence across the world. As you can see from the screen, we are actually represented in all 6 continents, from the North America, South America, Europe, Africa, APAC, and also Australia. So we are actually also for Southeast Asia region. We have local teams in Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, as well as Indonesia. And our R&D centers is based in Suzhou and Shenzhen, both in China. And we have 2 production facilities, which is also in Suzhou and Guangdong. These are some of the awards that GoodWe managed to achieve. So we are one of the one of the brand that are awarded by EUPD as a top brand for more than 5 consecutive years. And last year alone, we are awarded in 8 countries: Australia, Holland, Poland, Spain, Pakistan, South Africa, Brazil, and Vietnam. And in terms of product quality, we are also constant award winner from TUV Ryland, All Qualities Matter Award for consecutive 6 years. And like I mentioned earlier, we are very strong in the hybrid storage product portfolio. So in 2019, we are the world #1 hybrid storage inverter supplier, and also awarded the PV Magazine Award. And in 2021, we participate in the SPI, the System Performance Index benchmarking done by University of Berlin. And our products, the EH and ET series, which is also on for sale in Malaysia, actually came up top in each of their series, single phase and 3-phase. And also in 2021, we are awarded the most financially stable inverter company by Bloomberg. So these are some of the awards that we have achieved over the years. And I would like to give you a quick overview on the market share on our for GoodWe. So we are particularly very strong in the Australia and the European market. So in Australia, we have more than 30% of market share for the rooftop market, as well as in Germany, we have also 10% in the storage rooftop market. And another strong country for us would be the Netherlands, Poland, Czech Republic, where we have more than 50%. And hopefully, in Southeast Asia, we are able to grow also our market share slowly. We have actually achieved a lot in Malaysia, particularly over the past 2 years, but there is still a lot of room to grow for us. And yeah, GoodWe actually also strongly believe in pre-sales service and after-sales service. So for your information, for all the overseas market that we are active in, we actually do have, besides the sales, we do have also technical supports, local technical supports, and local after-sales service. So for GoodWe actually have a GoodWe Solar Academy that focus on providing PV system solutions and workshops also for our clients. So for example, yesterday we just held a workshop for our storage inverter with our distributor yesterday, an offline workshop at our distributor showroom. And after sales service, we also have a call center, 24/7 call center, and also we will guarantee provide on-site support, remote site support to help our clients to do the troubleshooting and so on. So for example, in Malaysia, we also work with service partners, which is based in KL, and all our replacement unit is placed here in Malaysia, KL. So you do not need, in case of any warranty claim of faulty devices, you do not need to send the faulty devices back to China and wait for a very long time for the replacement unit. So once it is approved, the replacement unit, you can collect the replacement unit directly from the KL warehouse of our service partner. So that is the ecosystem that we have built in Malaysia as well. So enough of our company introduction. So I will go into the technical solutions that GoodWe provide for the utility scales. So many may not know that we are active in utility solutions, because frankly speaking, GoodWe started off from a residential and moving out to CNI, and only since last year we venture into the utility scale, especially in the overseas. So we also provide we are inverter manufacturer. We provide an inverter manufacturer a 1500 VDC HD series inverter. It's a 250 kilowatt inverter, and it will communicate via PLC with the MV station. So we do provide a total turnkey solutions. Besides the inverter, we also can provide the MV stations as well, and of course also the data logger for the array. So the SCB 3000 will be situated in each of the MV station, and they can communicate to multiple units of inverters in an array on the LV side, and our output for the inverter is 800 watt AC, and we can step up to 11 kV or 33 kV dependent on the projects, and yeah, step up substation and grid. And also our communication data logger, besides communicating with our inverter via PLC, they also support fiber optic cable communication directly with the central control station, where your PPC and SCADA may locate at. And at the same time, they are able also to gather the information from the MV station, the weather station, as well as the tracker, and upload to our very own GoodWe developed so-called SCADA system as well, local SCADA system. We call it Solar OS, and compile everything in one one monitoring platform. Yeah. So our Solar OS system is actually able to do it a cloud-based or local-based, depending on the project's requirements. But everything can be monitored on one monitoring. So that is actually the products offering or system offerings that GoodWe can do. So inverter, MV station, data logger, as well as the local SCADA system for all our equipments. So again, I think this is the overview of our MV station. So it's a LV. There's a LV room and MV room. LV room would be the 800 VAC, and it can connect up to 28 units of inverters, ACCB, and so on. And MV room is up to 11 kV or 33 kV by project design. And as I mentioned earlier, this is our data logger, the SCBB 3000B, that it will situated also in each MV station. So our output voltage of the MV station will support up to 40.5 kV, and transformer capacity is up to 7 MVA. So the ring main unit would be in CVC. That means we also support the ring connections. So we do not only support the star connections, but we also support the ring connections. And everything, the prefabricated MV station will be located in a standard 20-footer container. So it's very easy for our clients to install. You just need to put the whole thing and connect the cables and so on, and everything is ready to go. So it is also IP55, so it's designed for outdoor use. And moving forward is our inverters, the 250 kilowatts, like I mentioned. We actually have two series, the 250K HT or 250K NHT. The 250K NHT is the latest products that comes with 6 Mbpd, but and with each Mbpd we have 3 strings. So each string will support up to 20 amps of current. So why would we need the 20 amps? As everyone knows, that the current 210 mm power module, the high performance module, their current is actually mainly more than less on the 18 or 19 region especially from Trina Solar or Ryzen Solar and so on. Yeah. So like we do support up to DC input current of 20 amp, and integrated is also our Type 2 SPD for DC and AC side. So you do not need to put any combiner box also for protection. And also this work with a very unique technology that we also improve on our products, is a smart DC switch. So what is so smart about this DC switch is basically it will automatically trip when there is overcurrent. And when the overcurrent is resolved, and then when the error is acknowledged, then it will automatically connect back. And of course, in terms of features, we also support string level DC current monitoring. We support IV scan function to save on the operation and maintenance costs. And also all our inverters are IP66. And in terms of capex investment, we support AC cable in aluminum. We support up to 240 square. So clients can use 200 aluminum cable for cost savings purposes. And also we have optional arc for current interrupter, AFCI functions, as well as PID functions. So anti-PID functions as well. So all these are also all available here. So like I mentioned earlier, we have two models actually for 250 250K and 250K NHT. So the difference actually is not more on the DC side. So the start-up voltage, as we can see, is similar. The maximum input voltage is up to 1,500 VDC, typical for the utility scales projects. But what is the difference would be the input current. So like I have mentioned that the KN would be, there will be have 6 MPPT, 3 strings per MPPT, and 20 M per strings. And for the K series, that without the N, that would be 12 MPPTs with 2 strings per tracker, and each strings will support up to 15 M. So this K is particularly suitable for the 182 uh, high performance module like from Jinko, JA, Canadian Solar, etc. And this one would be for more suitable for the others modules. So actually, we have solutions for all kinds of high performance module for your selections. And the output is actually similar, 250 kVA at 800 volt. Yeah, and the maximum efficiency would be no difference. So at the moment for utility scale inverter, GoodV is releasing the 250K and 250K and HD, depending on the module selection. Yeah. So like I mentioned earlier, the evolution of PV module is actually very the trend is moving towards a bigger cells, 182 and 210, and each of the manufacturers will have different type of value propositions with their cells. So for example, Trina and Canadian Solar are focusing on the 210 with 670, almost 670 watt module, and they are, as you can see, their short circuit current is almost 19 amp. And while Jinko and Longji and JA, they are still working on the 182 and their short circuit current will be less than 15 amp. So like I said, we have the solutions for both set, group of manufacturers. Yeah. So for example, looking at the 210 with the string current 20 amps, we can actually put more than 26 to 34 pieces of panels in one strings. That is the reason why we do not need so many strings or so many numbers of MPPTs. And of course, that is also due to the characteristic of the panel itself, that the VOC is particularly lower than the others that they allows to put more panels in one strings. So our 250K HD will be perfect for this 210 module, as well as also for bifacial module that maybe you have additional power input from the backside of the panels. So again, like I said, we can't strengthen enough. We have customized solutions for both modules. So no matter what our client selects, we have a perfect solutions to match it. So with 12 MPPTs and 2 strings, it is also perfect for utilities projects that the terrain is not so flat and so on. So with this MPPT, you can avoid any strings mismatch or shadowing and so on. Yeah. Yeah, I have mentioned earlier, this is the smart DC switch. So basically, we have 3 strings in one MPPT, and then it will automatically trip when overcurrent, and when the error is acknowledged, it will reconnect again. So this is an overview on our local SCADA. So it is actually require a license. It has an account, so where you can log in with our license and so on. So like you can see, you can have an overview. This is actually very easy. It's a drag and drop thing, and you can design all your array according to what, and then see that monitor each power generation array and a very good overview. And of course, we have multiple functions as well where you can see that, where you can see the daily generation, monthly generation, and comparison and so on. So these are some of the functions that is integrated in our Solar OS. I have mentioned about the homepage, but besides that, also we can have the configuration view where you can have an overview on the single line diagram up to each of the sub array, up to each inverter level. So it's very easy to click through and see which inverter is having problem on the plant at site. And also equipment monitoring up to inverter list, meter, and so on, alarm management, report management, and of course also like I mentioned earlier, we support IV curves. So this is a very great tools for the O&M teams. So basically they are able to from with the assistance of this technology, they are able to detect which string is currently underperforming, what kind of corrective measure needs to be taken. And of course, we also is able to analyze between the peak sun hours as well as the dispersion rate between each strings and realize that whether corrective measures need to be taken on a particular strings as well. And also we is able with our Solar OS is always also able to customize the homepage. You are able to provide the logo and also create different access right for your O&M team, for example, for the manager or for the ground team. So actually there's a lot of customization can be done with our Solar OS SCADA system. Yeah. So apart from the solutions, I also would like to highlight how good we manage our quality management system, how we ensure that our products that is delivered is of the highest quality. So of course, all our inverters are certified by reputable third-party certification like TUV. And also in our own factories, we have temperature tests, we have noise tests, vibration tests, and health tests, doing a lot of cycle tests. And also, of course, for in terms of the corrosions, protections, and so on, we also have our particular salt spray test as an anti-corrosion of the surface. And apart of that, in terms of functionalities of each inverters, before each inverters is shipped out of our factories or warehouse, they will go through a stringent ATS test, a functional test, as you can see here. And also they will go through an aging test. That means they will be put into work in our aging room for 45 degrees Celsius, which is actually a extreme condition, quite an extreme condition for at least 8 hours to make sure that all the inverters would be able to work at site without creating any problems to our clients. And yeah, this is the one of the reference of our utility scales. It's a 40 megawatt project in China itself. So you can see that this is a reference case, and I would like to take this opportunity to share with our fellow Malaysian friends as well. Goodwill has been actually recently awarded 2 LSS Mentari projects in Malaysia. So we are very proud to say that we are the third company, the third inverter manufacturer able to get a LSS Mentari project, LSS project, besides the two bigger players. So we are very proud to do that to be the third player to be awarded this large scale solar projects in Malaysia. So the COD will be between next first quarter of next year. So hopefully, if anyone who are interested in our solutions, you are free to engage me as well. Yeah. Thank you very much. That's all from my side today. Thank you. Back to you, Priyashi.
Thank you so much for the informative presentation, sir, and setting up the tone for the panel discussion. Now it's time to begin with the discussion, and to discuss this, we have in our panel with us Mr. Milan Queer from Hexagon Peak, who's the moderator for today, Mr. Siu Chun from Goodby, Miss Noor Ziha from G Sparks, Miss Regine Ju from Yongyak Solar Roofs. Now I welcome all the panelists on the screen and requesting Milan sir to lead the discussion. Over to you, Milan sir. Please take it ahead.
Thanks, Priyanshi. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Suchin, for the presentation. I have one question for you. Why is your company called Goodwe? Is it because you're good and everyone else is bad?
Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, I would say that it's good for everyone. So we name our company Goodwe because we hope to bring a value to the solar industry, and we want to bring a value to all our clients. So it's good for everyone.
Very
You
nice.
good, we good, everyone good.
We good, everyone good. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Very good. Okay, so I'm gonna ask everyone for a quick introduction of themselves and the companies they represent. Preferably a little bit shorter than Suchun because yeah, you're not sponsors. But anyway, starting with the ladies first. Nor and Regine, please.
No, ma'am, you're on mute. Can you please unmute yourself?
Sorry. So, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. My name is Nor Ziha binti Zainal Abidin. You can call me Ziha. I'm the head of technical sales and marketing for G Spark Sdn Berhad. And G Spark is actually 100% owned by TNB. And our business focus, is on the rooftop solar business. And we are here mainly as the investor. So that's some short and sweet introduction from me.
Thank you, Nor. Regine. Regine, are you still around? You're on mute.
Hi, can you hear me? Hello, good
Loud
afternoon,
and clear.
everyone. Yeah, having problem with my video. My name is Regine. You can call me Regine Chu. You can call me Regine. I'm the solar project director from Yongyang Solar Roof. So basically, we are the solar EPC, the engineer procurement and construction company. Yeah, in the solar business. I'm
Okay,
done my introduction,
so I
Milan.
guess I guess we have three speakers, and the key focus of all of you guys is really rooftop solar. Um, so we're gonna talk about that, and starting with Suchun, who would probably have the most complex overview of the market players and the situation in Malaysia regarding rooftop solar. Um, can you run us through from your perspective on how this market looks like currently?
Well, from my perspective, I would say that maybe Regine and Puan Nozia can add 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 on their inputs. But basically, I think this year is a quite a challenging year for each of us. So starting with the supply chain issue on the module, and then now would be the supply chain issue on the inverter side. So because of the lack of the chip, so I think, and also of course, the exchange rate of the USD and RM is not helping the situation. So basically, I think most of the EPCs currently are facing the main three issues: the rising price of the module, and which is also unfortunate, unfortunate, but luckily it has stabilized now. But again, to be very honest, the supply chain in the inverter is also getting a bit of an issue here. So not only with us could be, but actually it's the whole industry is a global issue actually, and of course and the exchange rate. I think that is also an issue. Yeah. So actually, I would put it. The market is still moving. Yeah. Due to the strong engagement and commitment from our EPC partners and so on, but yeah, from the financial perspective, definitely it's not as smooth riding as previously before the pandemic.
Well, I'm going to use this opportunity to ask you about forward pricing on inverters. How does this look like in, let's say, the next few quarters? Do you expect any movement in the pricing?
I would not put it on the pricing. I would say the pricing there would not be any much movement. We are for I only speak for Goodwe, of course, as particular Goodwe Malaysia. So we are trying to be supportive of our clients. We understand their situation currently and the challenges that they are facing. But I would try to highlight here to our Malaysian fellow friends as they should focus more on the availability of the inverters. So that sometimes it's not so much on the pricing, but whether you are able to get the supply the inverter in time. So sometimes that for example that it would be great that even that it may increase a bit of cost for you to use a smaller inverter, but sometimes it's worthwhile to use it because you can guarantee that the delivery time, the availability of the products, and make sure that your project can move forward. Yeah.
So what you're saying is that smaller inverters are currently more available than larger ones.
Definitely, that would be the trend. At least for until second quarter of next year, I would put it this way, because the reason is being very clear. So I think most of our friends in the industry have known that we are facing an IGBT shortage issue. The main reason of the IGBT shortage issue is actually we are using the same IGBT with the EV industry. So depending on the demand on the EV side, electrical vehicle side, so this problem may take some time to solve, and it particularly hitting very hard for inverters that is 100 kilowatt and above. Yeah.
Okay. Nor, what is going on the rooftop market right now? Can you talk a little bit on the policies that are in place and the different models that developers slash investors are using to basically deploy systems on rooftops?
Yeah, actually, I would say overall, the outlook is good because the government also is actually is very supportive. They have come up with few new policies. For example, okay, take last year they came out with this Malaysia Renewable Energy Roadmap, which actually outlines and gives quite a clear indication of how this RE, particularly solar market, would look like, and in terms of how much is allowed to be to be added to the generation. Yeah, that's one. And also recently there's this Dasar Tenaga Negara, or I would say national energy policy, that is actually released by the government, that also have this element of RE, and also EV, all these renewable technologies that actually in full support. Government also have announced about seriously looking into this other schemes such as corporate PPA that is coming, I think, very soon, but there is no clear timeline yet. Okay, but in terms of what we have now, there are two. In terms of rooftop solar, there are two available schemes that we could explore and we could benefit from. One of it is we call it net energy metering, and the other one is self-consumption. So both is allow for installation on the rooftop. There's a limited quota to it, but the quota is still, as I just checked just now, there are still plenty available, and this is available until 31st December 2023. For example, NEM Rakyat, which is specific for the houses and residential, there are still 48% available. NEM Gomen, which is specific for the government agencies, there are still 71% available, and NEM Nova for the commercial and industrial, 43% available. So there's still markets. We still there's still a market that we can actually explore, but we do hope that there will be continuation to this NAM program or whatever RE program, because in Malaysia we still need some kind of incentive for the government for us to push for this solar and RE.
So what you're saying is that without the incentives, the self-consumption, on-site consumption market doesn't really go in the right direction.
Um, Yeah, it's actually, it depends on which customer segment that we are looking at. For example, if we are looking at residential especially. Residential, because if we look at the usage pattern, they don't really use energy or electricity much during daytime when the solar is generating. Is most of it during nighttime. So to balance this, there will be excess solar. Yes, there are battery solution available, but in Malaysia, at least, I could say that the price is still high. Hence, this net energy metering would actually be very beneficial to actually entice people to sign up or adopt solar. Okay, but for commercial, we can still survive. Without incentive, but it will not be that much, because now let's say a customer who actually install as an outright purchase, there is another incentive called MIDA GITA, Green Investment Tax Allowance, that would actually enable them to claim their expenses on solar and reduce their payback period. And also the other thing is about our tariff. We are in Malaysia, our tariff is subsidized, heavily subsidized on a certain segment. So this also is a sum of the factors that would actually require some kind of government intervention to still push for solar. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Regine, do you see the same? You're basically acting as an EPC, and your customers are really those that pay more attention on regulations and potential business cases, but I'm sure you have your opinion as well. You're on mute.
Sorry. Yeah, I pretty echo with what point Ziha shared just now. She has given a clear, very clear landscape of what is currently available in terms of the programs that the commercial, industrial, and the residential consumers can go for to pursue their renewable energy roadmap, and by deploying the solar photovoltaic system on the rooftop especially. Yeah. So there are the net entry metering programs, which is also covering the name rakyat for the residential, and then for Nova is we just have the virtual aggregation offsets credits. So that will also justify in terms of the usage patterns, whereas it can address when you have any outliers in your consumption patterns, and also probably you have a seasonal usage as well. So this is very much a very practical and feasible programs for anyone who is considering solar. Yeah. So of course, we are looking forward for what the government has also announced is the new program on the NEDA, something like a virtual net off as well. But I think everyone is still awaiting the latest regulations or guidelines in regards for this new program. So as a whole, Milan, you can see that Malaysia landscape has evolved for the past what we observed since the FIT or the feed-in tariff era, and now moving into a net metering, and is continue to further develop and expand, and the EBC growth since for the past 10 years, for the past decades. Yeah. So yes.
Okay, I guess and that's going to be a good transition. You mentioned virtual agreements. I need to admit, one of the most ridiculous projects that I've ever heard in my career in solar was an idea in Malaysia, where a very big data center, I'm not going to mention any names, but a data center essentially had this demand from their customers, who are the big IT companies of this world, to basically reduce their carbon footprint. And the only way to do that in Malaysia is by um, purchasing renewable energy, which, however, is not allowed to be done on a direct negotiation basis as of today. So what this project was about was to use a solar system that is about 30 kilometers away from the data center, use batteries and trucks, deliver those trucks back to the data center, discharge the batteries, load them on again, drive them back to the solar power plant, and that is to be done every day. So this is really ridiculous. But this only shows how eager people are to find ways um, to source renewable energy, and I think that is becoming now a major issue for uh, the manufacturing sector, particularly for the multinationals who have their global commitments towards reducing their carbon footprint. So this is why um, my next question to you and Nor is how soon you expect this virtual PPAs to kick in, and whether you have any visibility on how it will be structured.
Okay. Yep. To be honest, when I have no idea, but there are announcement made and which is very recent. So I would think, I would believe that it's coming up very, very soon. Yeah, because yes, you're right. We have also received requests and also inquiry from data centers with respect to supplying 100% green to them. Yeah. So I have no idea when is the actual date, but I believe it's gonna be affirmative and it's gonna be very, very, it's gonna be in the near future. But I don't have the date.
Yeah, I
Regine,
think the same.
do you have any Regine? Do you have any information on how the program will be structured?
Sorry, Milan, I lost your last sentence.
Do you have any idea on how this program is going to be structured?
In terms of the structure of the virtual power purchase agreement, something like that. So I think
Yes.
the definition is not very clear, but I think the idea is to encourage more utilization and also where you have offset instead of on-site installation. With these programs comes in, it will actually encourage more of the offsite generation side. Yeah, whereby maybe, for example, some of the project sites, they do not have a reasonably good size or suitable location for the installation. So they have to look for alternative options. Yeah, this is what I think. And this is actually to address the current so-called market gap lah, per se. Yeah, based on the current programs that is available. Yeah.
Understand. Well, I wish you good luck with this, guys. I've been involved in the program in Vietnam, and it was a disaster, and it still is.
Oh,
Uh, and this is exactly what the government should not do. But essentially, in Vietnam, it takes now more than 3 years to basically publish and run the first pilot program, and it's really a total mess. Um, Hopefully, in Malaysia, the authorities will um, put a little bit more intelligence on this. Um, and I think there is a very, very clear demand for this to happen. And it's really a win-win-win kind of situation, because looking at where the whole direct PPA model started back in Europe about 5, 6 years ago. Right now, we have PPAs that are in a gigawatt scale, not in megawatt scale anymore, but in gigawatt scale. And those PPAs are coming at tariffs that are 3 to 4 times lower than the retail electricity tariffs. So this is something that will really, on one hand, help corporates to not only reduce their carbon footprint or eliminate it, but also to save costs, significant costs, particularly today. Um, and on the other hand, it will give developers and investors a lot more space to grow, because essentially, yes, I do agree that the Malaysian market is maturing. However, throughout its whole development history has been very limited to a few hundred megawatts per year. And so there is a lot more potential for those numbers to grow, and hopefully this program will enable a little bit more deployment. So, but okay, coming back to rooftop, is there any high level estimations on what is the total market size, and how um, yeah, what are the financial dynamics in the rooftop segment? Nor mentioned that major driver is subsidies, net metering, not so much self-consumption, but I'm sure there is space for um, optimizing energy costs on the self-consumption model as well. Do you guys have any overview on how attractive those are for one for consumers and two for investors?
Okay, I think I would like to correct that statement. Actually, self-consumption is very, very. It's actually quite a large. Is a large market over there for self-consumption, especially for businesses that operate 7 days a week. So actually, and because the limitation
This is
of
not what you
NEM,
said 10 minutes ago.
maybe you hear it differently, but okay, the self-consumption is because NEM limits the installation to 1 megawatt only, 1 megawatt AC. Then for factories, for businesses that has larger loads, in 5 megawatt and more, maybe 50 megawatt, then that this NEM limits the installation on their roof. So the actually a better option would be self-consumption, but we need to look at their load profile, and most of them are operating 7 days a week, so they just go with the self-consumption that allows for more installation bigger than 1 megawatt and but limited to 75% of MD. Okay, so actually there's a large market for the self-consumption, and for now there is no quota set yet for the self-consumption. Unlike NEM, they are limited to 600 megawatt. But there's no, so far anyone can apply for self-consumption, subject to the Energy Commission's generating license approval. So yeah, there's a big market for that, but the segment that is actually could benefit from this is, I would say, only industrial and maybe commercial, such as shopping mall or hospitals, because they operate 7 days a week.
Okay. Is there any reference number that you can give us for savings discounts that corporates could benefit of by switching to rooftop solar?
It depends on the business model that they are actually opting for, because there are two business model financial scheme. One is the zero capex that GSPARK offers, where we invest and we only charge them for the solar energy payment, and the other one is outright purchase. So depending on these two, so outright purchase, maybe you could save 50% at most, 30 to 50%. It depends. And zero capex is of course much lower because they have to pay for the solar energy payment. But zero capex is good for those who are looking for a quote unquote risk free. Yeah, of course there is nothing that doesn't come with risk, but very minimal risk, and all costs is actually absorbed or under the responsibility of the investor. So that the saving is actually much lower. Okay, but there you have it. Hassle-free, headache-free solution for those who's actually opting for solar, and especially for them to fulfill their ESG commitment. So this is the fastest low-hanging fruit that they could actually opt for under the zero capex solution.
Understand.
Mhm.
Regine, is that the same opinion you share?
Yeah, Puan Sihan mentioned about a zero capex. So, it actually gives the more options for the building owner to consider, and without having to have a heavy investment upfront. And I think this is a very smart and innovative way of matching the investors and also the building owners in a very innovative way. I would say that, yeah, but in a way that we should also look into, let's say do you want to benefit from the tax incentive that is for the outright purchase. So typically these are the so-called the financing mechanisms lah, yeah, available in Malaysia. But talking about the I think you talk about savings in terms of percentage of the energy percentage savings. It depending on your the current electrical supply design. So it could go up to like 80, 90% in terms of energy savings in the energy units. Yeah, not in the monetary value. So there are also in so depending on how much that you invest. Yeah.
Okay, much clearer now. Um, Suchun, when developers are buying inverters from you, um, what are the key requirements that you see? I know every market has its very specifics, um, but from the technology standpoint, how is Australia unique from any other place?
Well, to be honest, nowadays I think our clients is already well. They have a very deep knowledge about inverters, I would say. So when they look at the data sheet, they already know everything about what we are offering. So basically, sad to say, but inverter is more moving towards a commodity. Not really there yet, but it's moving to into that direction. So as a manufacturer, as a principal on ourselves, we are focusing on providing total solutions, a turnkey solution for our clients to match their all their applications, be it the zero capex option or the outright purchase, the cell code, the NEM, or even in the future the virtual the direct purchase and so on. So we are always looking into solutions where we can provide the thing. And of course, as a company, we are focused is a smart energy era. So we are always looking to incorporate also hybrid storage technology into for our clients, not only solar but also storage. So actually storage is actually many people will think that before I move into storage I have to install solar first. Very true, especially in this region, but actually storage it could be also another alternative without considering about solar. So even without solar you can still consider storage, especially with EV charging coming up and so on. There is a lot of opportunities that we see also in storage and so on. So GoodWe itself, especially for the residential and CNI, we have a total portfolio for the storage, and we also incorporate EV chargers, AC charging. We are launching our product soon. So we are really focusing on total energy solutions as a company to provide to our customers and trying to move onto the level of a energy management technology provider. Yeah.
Okay, but how financially feasible is deployment of solar and storage given the current electricity rates in Malaysia?
Yeah, like first, Puan Nozia has mentioned earlier. Of course, tariff in Malaysia is low, or even in Southeast Asia region is one of the lowest for in the world. So first of all, subsidies is the main reasons behind it, and of course, we are also as a supplier, I would like to call for the government to push also policies to support on the storage as well, where we can also provide tax allowance like solar, like for the solar industry, for the solar panel. We also can put similar incentive scheme for the storage and move into it. Yeah.
Okay, Nor, are you looking at any solar projects with batteries at the moment?
Mm, we do, but like say, it's like not commercially viable, and because seems like we can still survive with NEM and also Selco, so it's in the pipeline, something that we consider, but not something that we have already offered.
Understand. Um, yeah, I guess that's the case in most Southeast Asia, as Suchun mentioned. I think the only exception would probably be Philippines, where the tariffs are much higher. Um, but that's a topic to cover as well, and it is the electricity rates in the country. Um, how would this evolve in time? I guess a question
This
to anyone that may want to answer, and it's really a crystal ball that you need for this. Um, but essentially, we have global trends of rapidly rising electricity cost. Um, yes, Malaysia is subsidizing, um, but this wouldn't be sustainable forever, would it?
Well, Milan, I try to answer this question. I think it's quite a controversial for us as a Malaysian to answer your questions here. So, at one hand, we are our people in Malaysia here are facing challenges with the inflations, with the increase in all goods price because of the exchange rate that get worsened. But at the same time, as a solar industry player, we hope that the electric tariff will goes up because that would be a very good news for us. But so it really depends on the government policy on that because eventually is a government is still using the people's money, the taxpayer money to subsidize the utility rates. So there's no right or wrong on that. It's just that which direction that the government or the policymaker would like to go. So yeah, that's a 2 cents from my side as a Malaysian on the whole.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, to be
Yep.
sustainable, if we remove the subsidy, then logically the price will go up lah. Yeah, but that will also there is actually a chain link effect if there is adjustment in the tariff. So with everyone is just towards the in the process of recovery after the pandemic. So there are, I think, several factors to consider before any adjustment. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that's a long-term strategy. It's not something you can change overnight. Um,
yeah.
and politically speaking, Malaysia has been in ups and downs in the last decade. And I guess long-term strategic thinking is not really the main topic on the agenda of newly elected governments, or it hasn't been. But I think I need to differ with Suchun on whether it's good or bad. Subsidizing is always bad for cost, um, because the LCOE of solar, as you know, is way lower than many other energy sources right now, and the prices do not necessarily need to go up if you cut off subsidies. But again, this is a long-term planning. It's not something you cannot just write off uh, uh, generation assets overnight. That takes years, and it's something that can has to be really well planned. Um, I want to give you an opportunity, basically, as a last question, to share your views on what the future has to offer us, particularly on the rooftop scale segment in Malaysia, and and how you see the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years on this market.
Okay. We are hopeful. I mean, as a solar company, we are hopeful that there would be continuation on whatever that we already have. Example, like say NEM or Celco, and other programs that would give us more platform to actually prosper in this business. And also perhaps where if there is any revision in tariff, we see that solar is something that could actually help the rakyat, or I mean the citizen of Malaysia, or even the industry, to actually navigate through this rough time. Because we have already seen that even though solar, for example, as I mentioned, maybe under the zero capex, it doesn't saving is not that significant. I mean, you can't expect 50 or 30% saving, but small little saving matters. So we see that we are playing more, as an entity that actually helps the nation to navigate through this difficult time. And even as TNB, we have our own aspiration where we support the government aspiration to achieve net zero by 2050. So there are many facet or aspect or initiative that we have rolled out or in the pipeline, and one of it is rooftop solar, and that is where TMB established this G Spark to specifically look into this business, and I hope yeah, we could continue to actually serve the people through this rooftop solar vehicles. And yep, and I'm quite positive because there are a lot of announcement there, and there are already ongoing works at the ministry, policy makers to actually push more for solar and RE in general.
Perfect, Regine.
Yeah, I think currently we are experiencing so-called our currency deflations, weakenings. So we hope this is actually a transitional period during this recovery time. And when things get back to stabilize, I think the RE market is definitely has a great potential to go. And with our government aspiration to go for the net zero, and also to further reduce our carbon emissions target. So we need to, RE would definitely play an important role to achieving that. And one of the simplest way is to install the solar panels on the rooftop that you already have. Yeah. So that is something that we are positive with. And we also look forward for more programs that we will work in line with the government to actually to achieve these renewable energy targets. Yeah.
Okay, Siu Chun, your views?
Well, from the perspective of Goodwe, Malaysia is actually one of the best market currently for us in Malaysia. We foresee that it's a very stable. They have a very sound policy and stable market share. It may not be very big, but at least each year it maintains the volume. So yeah, and with the new policies that is coming into place, we are being hopeful here, and hopefully we are well positioned to also take advantage of the storage portfolio that we offers to all our clients, because we or personally sincerely believe that storage would be the next wave coming in the next 3 to 5 years. And I strongly believe like the trend of solar panels and inverters, the pricing of the batteries will come down also in the near future. Yeah. So that would be the game changer, and we also open up a lot of more innovative business model with storage coming into play, and it will provide another degree of freedom on the whole energy landscape. Yeah.
Sounds good. I guess that's from my side, Priyanshi. I see there is some questions. Please, over to you to get those answered.
Sure. So this is the first question. Any panelist would like to take it up?
I'm not too sure. I mean, it's not really something that I've already seen a clear guideline on the disposal yet, but I think this is definitely on the way, because in Malaysia we are quite also, I would say, quite new in this rooftop solar. So, but I'm pretty sure because it's part of e-waste. It's something that actually it's I'm pretty sure it's on the way, lah, but I'm not really aware the specific policy on this and disposal.
Yeah, I add a little bit is oh, it's okay.
Ma'am, you can continue and then we can take this up.
Uh, because of the disposal policy, I would say it's not regulated, and then we are not. Then also it always come from the solar panel manufacturers, yeah. And then most of the warranties that are installed in Malaysia market is still less than 25 years. So, but of course, this is something that has to be looked for when the times come for the disposal of the older solar panels. Yeah.
Okay, Priyanshi, I think this question is directed to me. So 250 kN is good V inverters for the utilities. So how is it safe without using the fuels? Yeah, our 250 kN inverter is without fuse. We try to remove components that may pose high risk. So what we do, the innovative solutions that we use is actually a smart DC switch that will be connected to the three strings in one MPPT. So what the strings does is actually independently it will monitor the current that goes through it of each string, and if the overcurrent is detected, it will trip automatically. So it is a mechanical way to do it, and yeah, only when the problem is rectified and the error is acknowledged, it will then resume the connection. Yeah. So just this is to answer the questions on that.
Okay. So, with this, we come to the end of the panel discussion. I would like to thank all the panelists and thank you, Milan sir, for doing an excellent job as always. But the show is not over yet. We are having the much awaited part of the day, which is the Gala Awards of Malaysia Solar Week. With this, I hand it over to Geeta and thanking all the attendees. Thank you so much. Take care.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank
Hope to
you.
see you in
Pleasure.
other
Priyanshi sir,
webinar.
can you wait on the backstage for a while? Thank you.